Jack is one of 9 siblings in the Jones clan, all part of the plan. Only his dad, Colin, is his companion here in Sheffield. His mum, Debbie, at home in Cumbraen, will be making sure she's not one who gets far too nervous. But here we go. Match number 5 of the championship for the 12th seed, Kyren Wilson. Match number 7 of this long campaign for qualifier Jack Jones. So, can we all say, good luck, Jack. Good luck, Kyren. Let's get our 2024 World Championship final underway. And there's only one man for that job. It is our MC, Rob Walker. Rob, the moment of truth has come.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. After 15 days of heartache, drama and glory, here we go with the big one. 2 players are about to walk down these famous stairs, both bidding for a maiden kiss with Sheffield's Silver Lady. As they emerge, the Crucible crowd will rise to honour them and the occasion to come. It's time for the Kazoo World Snooker Championship final. It's time to get the boys on the bays. What an extraordinary run for a player with an extraordinary temperament. For 2 long weeks, he's been nerveless, beating multiple champions en route to the first major final of his career. He's the 6th Welshman to make it this far. He's bidding to become only the 3rd qualifier in Crucible history to lead and live the big one. Always calm, always composed, the silent assassin, Jack Jones. His opponent, back for a 2nd world final after incredible form. For 15 days, his game has risen to another level, and he will believe this is his time to shine. In the final 4 years ago, COVID denied him a rousing reception. So this time, let's make sure he hears the roar. Here comes the one and only warrior, Kyren Wilson.
A reception that's been 4 years in the making for this man. Here we go in the first of 4 sessions between now and tomorrow night. 8 frames to play this afternoon to kick it all off. Who will become our new champion? Well, we're in the excellent company of 2 men who know how to get it done. World champs Stephen Hendry and Dennis Taylor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Hazel. Good afternoon, everyone. And a standing ovation at the Crucible Theatre for both these brilliant players as they shake hands and have their photograph with that wonderful trophy. What a final we're going to have here. Every player's ambition when they turn professional is to lift that trophy. These boys turned professional in 2010, and one of them's going to achieve that. Referee Paul Collier doing his very last world final. He's done 4, and he's retiring from refereeing after this final. So all the photographs have been taken, and I'm delighted to be sitting next to the king of the Crucible, the 7 times champion, Stephen Hendry.
First
what an
frame.
Incredible.
Jack Jones to break.
I wonder if Jack Jones has ever broken off in a snooker frame and felt like he is feeling right now. Because this will be incredible for him. He was here till the small hours last night after his semi-final victory, doing all the interviews, doing all the video stuff. Not sure if he managed to get much sleep last night. But yeah, what an occasion. But back to on the table, Dennis. I think Kyren Wilson, is obviously the favourite. I think a lot depends on his long game. I think Jack Jones played Judd. Judd didn't pop many long balls. Stuart Bingham was the same. I think if you get to the sort of second half of frames, this guy is tactically so sound. He's very tough to beat. So Kyren's got to get in early, I think, in frames and score.
Well, we had the former world champion working with us, Neil Robertson, and he rates Jack Jones as in the top 5 tactical players in the game. That's a big accolade coming from the former world champion.
Jack was saying to me last night about, you know, he's not really scored. He's got to the final, but he's not really scored. He's only made 2 centuries in this World Championship. So if he does add heavy scoring to that, the other sort of parts of the game that he excels at, say he's got every chance of winning this. It's very difficult to pick a winner.
Well, that little flick on the blue means the white didn't reach the cushion, so the first opportunity falls to Kyren Wilson, and this shot that he's faced with is one of his specialities, and as Stephen said, could be key in this final. So the first point in the final goes to Kyren. As we show you it again, he's got a chance on the black. Well played. And now, with the reds as they are, this is an early opportunity to settle down in this opening frame.
Table was recovered overnight for the final, so pockets will play slightly, will be slightly more forgiving, certainly in this first session this afternoon, along the cushions. So there's been a lot of talk about how tight the tables have been playing this whole championship.
16.
But this is a great opportunity to put down an early marker. Doesn't matter how many sessions a match is over, to get your first frame on the board early is very important. And Kyren Wilson has come out looking very sharp. Plays very aggressively with his shot choice. That's one of the things I admire about his game the most, is he turns down very little. He backs himself and his ability to pot any ball that he sees on the table.
$24.
That's how Kyren got through to the final, and anybody that can beat John Higgins has always got a great chance of lifting the World Championship.
25.
And John Higgins admitted after the match, he said, Kyren just totally outplayed me.
Yeah, he's only played one player in Higgins that's actually in the top 16 to get to the final. But that's not his fault. All he can do is beat whoever is in the other chair. And that's what he's done convincingly the whole championship.
30. $31.
Still got plenty of reds available to him.
36.
Well, Jack lost the first 3 frames of the semi-final to Stuart Bingham, and only through an incredible clearance won the 4th frame. So he'd be hoping he doesn't have as slow a start in this match.
That's Kyren's Crucible record there at the bottom of your screens. Needs the white to pull up.
37.
And it has done. He's come up a little bit short, but he's so good with the rest. It shouldn't cause him a problem. Kyren's family's been here, and that's Bailey on the left with them lovely glasses he's promised to let me have when he's finished with them, and Finlay there, and Sophie up in the Champions Lounge. And Bailey's highest break, Stephen, 48. So is he going to take after his dad?
48.
All the families here. What a start from Kyren. He's doing what great champions do at the start of a final. Is he on that red to the middle pocket? If not, he's going to have to
56.
cut this one back into the corner. Can't see enough of that. Well, you said, Stephen, a lot was going to depend on Kyren's long potting. He certainly got in with a long pot, and this is the result.
Yeah, I think this is going to be Kyren's path to winning this final. If he can consistently get in through his long game and win frames in one visit, make sure the frames are won and don't get embroiled in, as I say,
59.
tactical exchanges at the second half of frames. Obviously, Jack will be hoping to get in first there as well and score, but he's been so effective, Jack, throughout the whole championship when it comes down to these frames that can go either way.
60.
He's winning the vast majority of them, so as I say, Kyren will not want to be involved in that. And this is, well, I mean, it's the perfect way for a snooker player to win the frame, isn't it? Pot a nice long pot and win the frame in one visit.
Yeah, it was not only the long pot here. Look how he controlled the cue ball. He could have snookered himself on the black there, but didn't.
Yeah, also puts pressure on your safety play. So you've seen there, Kyren was able to get his bridge hand on the table, the bed of the table. Makes such a difference.
Frame safe. It's not going to
75.
be easy to make a century, though. Might be able to just
76.
flick the red away. This next to the pink half ball. Got it a bit on the thin side. He might have to take the one that's close to the cue ball.
83.
It looks very tight, this. Maybe just can see enough of it. The pink will get him over towards that red, the left side of the table. And every chance he can leave an angle on the blue.
90.
Potting this to move the difficult, or drop in behind the difficult last red. Has he got an angle to cannon this red out? He's going to have to punch it in to create the angle. What an effort! What an effort!
96.
Well, he'll get a terrific roar if this blue goes in. And it's there. Well, as I mentioned, great champions seem to start the opening frame in style. The gentleman sitting next to me, 7 times world champion, did this so many times in the first frame of his matches here at the Crucible. Must bring back a few memories, Stephen.
Yeah, this is a fantastic way to start this final. Very, very impressive.
111.
Really, well, stamping his authority on this match early. Kyren Wilson.
116. 122.
Long opening pot, and then Kyren Wilson has cleared the lot. What a way to start this final. He takes the opening frame with that magnificent clearance, and he leads 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, but I think the excitement, the anticipation will keep him going, the adrenaline. But he has to start fast because against Stuart Bingham, he started very slow, and Stuart Bingham let him off the hook. He has to get a frame on the board very quickly.
It does, and just for info, it's the first final since yours in 1993 to start with a century. Positive vibes.
I always like when the stats are about me, Hazel. Thank you very much for that. We're talking about, obviously, the amount of snooker that Jack's played, and fatigue will play a part. I think it all depends on how he plays. If you start playing poorly, I think you start to think about that, and you can flag a little bit. But as long as he's playing well, he won't notice it.
Yeah, he took this pot on with a bit of safety in mind. The fact that he screwed the white back to the bulk area. Now this red into the left corner is hampered slightly, but if he does pot it, now that's awkward. No, he was never going to take the pot on because of the awkward bridging over the yellow. Has he covered it? Has he been lucky? I think he has. Oh, look at that. He thought he would be coming to the table with an easy starter.
Yeah, he's not quite settled yet, Jack Jones. Even that little safety shot, cue ball is nowhere near the baulk cushion. It's just going to take him, I think, a few shots just to get with this atmosphere in the final. But he's just got to trust his game. It's got him this far. He's just got to trust it. That it's going to be good enough.
There you go. Look at that magnificent Crucible Theatre. That's every snooker player's dream, to play in the final of a World Championship. Very good safety shot.
Yeah, a little safety exchange. Just getting your hand on the table, playing a few shots, and he'll soon be composed and relaxed and into this.
Yeah, that's his father on the right. He's been with Jack throughout this year's World Championship, and a charming gentleman, and so proud of his son to be out here in the final. Clever shot. You could show the shot of the players in the practice room before coming out, and Colin was with Jack, as indeed Kyren had his brother Taylor with him. But there's another good safety shot. This is what he's going to have to do, and he's so good at, to create a chance. Just looking to see if he come off a couple of cushions and nestled into the reds, what he would leave. Don't think he's going for the two cushion escape and down the table. He's just nestling into them.
Foul and a miss. Jack Jones full.
Yeah, this will be going back. If he lands on that red that he got close to, everything will be safe.
Okay, Jack.
I wonder, there's a couple of reds, I don't know if they're a plant into the right corner. I can see a couple of possibilities as we show you the white just glancing off the red. He's now looking at the pack there. He's looking at the two reds, the two to the right as we come around. Maybe, let's have a look, just going slightly to the left of the pocket, but he can make that if he knocks one red onto the, it'll squeeze them into the pocket. Every chance he may take this on. As long as he doesn't squeeze it too much. No, he's not going to bother with it. Kyren was having a glance at them there, but he can't get to the angle of the first red to knock it onto the 2. Just coming up a little bit short with his safety at the moment, Jack. He normally gets that white near the cushion. It'll take him a while to settle in to this final. There's the tournament safety success. Kyren just ahead there at 85%. And the putt success, well, you need to be creeping into the 90s, 89 and 86. Long putts, Kyren just ahead on that. And he's going to have a go at another long putt here. Oh, is he going to get away with this? The reds come out and a red over each pocket, but he seemed to hit that harder than he needed to there, Kyren. He didn't push the cue through in a straight line and had to force it, but anyway, Jack has got his first possible pot here. Left with the long blue here. An early test of the cue action. No. So he hasn't settled just yet. It's quite understandable. His first ever final.
One. Eight. Nine.
Yeah, this was the shot Jack played, and he just got a little flick on the red
16.
that spoiled him getting nicely on the blue for the middle, and I still expected him to knock the blue up into the corner, but as I say, you take a while to settle in the final of the World Championship. Didn't take Kyren long, where he opened.
$17.
May have to go in and out of bulk here to get on a red to the left corner pocket. You can see one right in the middle of the bunch. Easier, obviously, with the yellow being off its spot. Not quite hit it hard enough.
24.
Red closest to the pink goes as well.
Always a good sign when you're tucked up near the cushion and you roll one like that in. Just confirms that you're cueing well.
So important for Kyren to
32.
make hay where the sun shines, as it were. He knows he'll be able to sense that his opponent's not settled yet. So can you pile as many frames on the scoreboard as possible while he isn't settled?
33.
I was just thinking it's very useful that that red's gone towards the middle, but maybe it's gone just a little too far. It would have been straightforward to pot the brown and get onto that red that's near the cue ball. But he may have to try and get back up the table here. Which he's done perfectly. What a shot this is. All the way around the angles. Ran an
37.
extra 8 inches too far, but he's still on the red. Table looks to be playing beautifully with this new cloth that's on it. Yeah, he's in control of everything at the moment. His potting, his positional play, even that little nudge on the pink.
Very comfortable, Kyren, potting balls at pace. You don't see him often, like, as in the way Mark Williams plays, sort of floating balls in. He likes to punch the cue ball. I'm sure it can be quite intimidating if you're sat in
45.
Jack Jones' chair, because you're hearing the sound all the time of the cue ball, sorry, the object ball hitting leather.
Yeah, I remember back in the day when John Parrott would be on the next table here, 2 tables at the Crucible. You knew it was John at the table because he used to punch
52.
the ball into the pocket. You could tell by the sound, as you mentioned there, Stephen. Meanwhile, this is an awkward little shot here. You can just see enough of this red. Very rarely would you see that from Kyren Wilson.
52.
With the rest, he's usually devastating. So as we show you the miss again, Jack Jones has got a chance to settle down now.
One.
I think the shot is to play for the red that's over the right corner. He'd like to have maybe kept that there for insurance. But he looked at the red that was underneath the black there and thought, I don't want to risk if I play a cannon on that red and it doesn't come off. He wants to get his Q arm going, wants to pot a few balls here. It's a good chance, this red and the other three, it's in the open.
9.
Yeah, as I say, you don't see him miss many with the rest. We're talking about Jack Jones having made just 2 century breaks, but the number of frames,
16.
and Kyren will know this, the number of frames that Jack has won with frame-winning breaks, especially in the semi-final, there was 8 or 9 frames I can remember that he won with
17.
60 plus, 70 plus breaks. Doesn't always have to be centuries.
No, exactly. I think he's building up a reputation in this World Championship, and Kyren, as you say, will know it. It's this tight. It's this part of the frames that Jack has been so strong. If he can somehow add getting in early and scoring, winning frames in one visit, he's going to be so tough to beat.
$24.
He might
Jones,
have
24.
just about got away with this, but I was just about to say that type of shot that he's missed there, he knocks them in with ease normally. I think it's just the fact that he still hasn't settled down. Oh, does this? I thought he'd got away with that. Can he cut this back in? Wow, this is thin. It doesn't look too thin on that shot, but from that picture there, it doesn't look cuttable. And the white will be travelling at pace around the table. He's had a result there.
1.
No idea where the cue ball was going. He did well to cut that in. Yeah, he just had to concentrate and rely on a bit of good fortune with a cue ball, and worked
7.
out very nice. I think it was a bit of a
8.
shock to Jack's system, because that type of shot along the cushion, he very rarely misses it, because he could have played for the 2 loose reds. He was quite comfortable leaving that. Oh, that's a couple of misses now from
Kyren Wilson, 8.
but the pink has ran safe, which helps his cause. Blue, pink and black awkward. Nobody expected that.
Believe it or not, he can actually play to move the second red off this. He's not quite done it. If he'd got more into the cue ball, if you were playing in the club or an exhibition, you would have played that shot. I'm not sure if he gets in right behind this red, I'm not sure if he can just drop it in dead weight. You'd be on the black.
Oh, it's one of them funny little ones.
5.
Oh, look at it from that angle. It just shows you how tough it is. If you touch the angle of the pocket, it won't go in. Well done.
6.
Settled down
Jack Jones,
at the moment, Jack. Just a bit of tension at the moment. You never really settle until you get a frame on the board in any match. Just the green needed, and it's 2-0.
5. Nine. 14. 20.
It took him 2 or 3 chances, Kyren Wilson, but he has won the second frame as well. Jack Jones yet to settle in his final. Kyren Wilson 2-0.
Kyren Wilson.
To come.
Thanks, Sean. Well, of course, it was Terry Griffiths who won the title in 1979 as the first unseeded player to do so. He'll be delighted that his fellow Welshman Jack Jones has followed his lead
Thank you,
as an
frame
outsider
3.
to get to the
Jack
occasion.
Jones to break.
Terry, we're all sending you our love and best wishes as ever. And I'm sure you won't mind me saying, Jack's in the final now, you know, just like you. Terry, we're all thinking of you, our dear friend.
Well said, Hazel. One of the great coaches of the game, Terry Griffiths, and his son Wayne is carrying it on. I think Wayne's still in Hong Kong teaching. Now then, an early chance for Jack. Okay, the black's tied up, but if he's dead straight on this red for the corner, I think the pink will be available into the left middle. He's got the one up to the right of the brown as well, but he's coming round to have a look at things around the black spot area, but that may be for a couple of shots time. This is dead straight, I think, so a little screw back and the pink's available.
1.
There's a possibility that he can get on the red to the right of the black and then cannon the one away to the left of the black, but I'm not sure if he can do it this time. But he's already had a look at that. So it's all about the next pot here. Pink spot occupied, the highest available
7.
is the green. Just a little bit of a tester, this one. Is he going to finish on one? It's finished a little awkward. As I say, he looked about the possibility of getting on the red to the right, but because he's got a good angle on the blue, he decided to go into them, and he's a bit unfortunate to finish like this. This is very awkward. If he can get to it with the rest, that would be better, but he's going to be queuing so close to the blue. He's going to need the spider to... As I say, it's got very little to do with the cue ball, but using the spider, striking down on the white, if you get a little bit of unwanted side, you can miss the easiest of pots using the spider. And that's awkward. No, it might look a very poor shot, that, but that is so awkward. He got side on it because he could hardly see. You know, he's looking, trying to look down the cue, and he didn't hit the white in the center there. If he plays back down the table, down the right side of the table, he's got to make sure he gets past the ball colours there with that red in between green and brown. That's not where he wanted it. He's pushed the red towards the right corner, which is blocked with the red on the blue spot. And the one to the left corner's quite a thin one. Oh, he can get past the red. I thought he was going to be covered, but the black's not available. There's a red in the way of the blue. There's a slight angle with, well, no, it's dead straight. Pretty good effort. Yellow is the only one he can pot.
Three. Four.
The blue will have to go on to the, well, is there enough room on the pink spot? Is there enough room on the blue spot? Kyren's had a look at that. I'll find out shortly. Paul Collier with his ball marker, just checking the blue spot. So
9.
It is the pink spot, and that's much better. Blues available into a couple of pockets.
Didn't
quite get that one as he intended. He wanted to be a little bit closer to the yellow. Well, that was a great shot there, right down the cue of Kyren Wilson. You could see the pause before he delivered the cue.
12.
Does like to pop these balls at pace, doesn't he? They don't need to be hit that hard, but that's the way he plays. It's a very powerful game Kyren Wilson plays. Since the first frame, he's not looked quite as in control and focused and had the same tight control of the cue ball. The balls haven't all been going in the middle of the pockets, but he is still at the table. And as I say, well, he knows his opponent is struggling a little bit. You've got to keep on it. It's quite an important point of the match. These early stages.
27.
As I say, if you can get on top early, you don't want to be chasing. I say Jack Jones lost the first 3 frames against Stuart Bingham and managed to win the 4th, which really turned the game actually. I don't think it's going to be as easy to get back into the match if Kyren Wilson gets a big lead, because he's a very good front runner.
33. It's a panel there. Do you want to pull it across? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Rob, can you just pull that panel across, please?
Just something in his eye line. I think that.
No, this one.
They're just pulling a panel along. There must be just a little bit of movement in his eye line that'll block it off.
.34.
Come up a bit short again on the pink, but shouldn't be a problem. There's a red between the blue and black. That's available. If the one nearest the blue is also available.
40.
He's back in prime position, and it is.
.41.
It's amazing, Stephen, even on the shots that he plays slowly, he pulls the cue right back to the V.
46.
There's a couple of players do that.
Yeah, it's not the most, you would say, natural
47.
cue action in the world, but it's so effective. It's so straight. That's why his middle distance and long distance potting is so strong. It's almost, well, I was going to say, it's almost robotic in the way he delivers the cue. But, there was a system failure there.
The E blues has got to give a little bit of encouragement to Jack Jones.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think since that well, it was a phenomenal start by Kyren, but since then, you know, the last frame it took him 3 chances. And that, you've got to take something from that if you're Jack Jones. And that cannon has not worked out perfectly.
Yeah, he wanted to cannon that red full ball, and he would have had a nice, easy black. This is far from easy. He's overdone it. Getting
Jack
a
Jones
little
won.
frustrated. Jackie just hasn't settled yet. Just having a little word with himself there to gee himself up a bit. Looks a little bit tired in this opening session, but it is new territory for him.
1.
He needs to be careful because this first session could run away from him very quickly. You don't want to be out of this final after the first day, which if you just don't get focused quickly,
8.
could easily happen.
Nine.
Frame already safe. But he's needed 2 or 3 chances here, Kyren.
16. 17.
Oh, nicely played there.
23.
Kyren's dad there and Barry Stark there with the glasses, who's one of the top coaches, and he's been with
25.
Kyren since he was a young boy.
$29.
So Kyren has needed 2 or 3 chances in this frame. But he'd be very comfortable as he sits down in this seat. It's 3-0 to Kyren Wilson.
And this is exactly the same situation that faced Jack.
Kyren Wilson, he can put him to sleep for as long as he can possibly do, and he tried to do that.
Kyren Wilson
This is the last before the first of our intervals in this final.
Yeah, Steve Davis is right, and he's put quite a few people to sleep throughout the 80s, the way he played the game, winning 6 world titles. You were sitting in your chair for quite some time when you played the 6 times champion.
You know, Steve famously beat John Barrett 18-3 in a final.
And John was at the hotel watching the snooker, and you come out with that stat. That'll make him happy, Stephen. Well, he's got a safety shot, but he's just looking if there's a possibility of making the plant while playing the safety shot. At the moment, Kyren's reaching the ball cushion with the cue ball. Jack's just slightly off with his safety shots. I'm not sure if he can take the pot on here without cannoning into the pink and reds. It will cut this, but if he hits it on the thick side, he'll cannon the reds near the pink. He's decided that that is far too risky, and you can't blame him. One more frame before the mid-session interval. Doesn't want it to be 4-0.
Pretty good reply there from Jack. Kyren just came around to see if this red was maybe going to go close to the right corner. Instead, it's the black that's going to go close to the right corner.
Foul.
Is it a free ball?
Jack Jones set.
Amazing how that can happen there. You could stand there all day and never get that red to go across. And you can put them back in from where it's finished. I think he can pass the blue, yeah, and just snick the reds.
Similar shot coming up. Just caught it a little bit thick, but has managed to avoid blue and green. Yeah, the interval for Jack Jones will be so much more comfortable. 15-20 minutes if he can get a frame on the board. If you go in 4-0, you just don't relax at all. He may practice room, get his cue arm going, but just love to get this frame on the board. That's a good safety shot from Kyren Wilson, though.
Just enough sticking out to clip the red. Once again, hit it on the thickish side, hence the white getting nowhere near the ball cushion. Another wonderful piece of cueing, and it's so important for Jack to get that white up near the ball cushion. Can't afford to leave Kyren that type of shot. And all of a sudden, it's a good chance. Played that well.
6. Seven. 14. $15.
Still reds available into the right corner, and Jack is just sitting there and hasn't settled. There's still plenty of reds available here.
22.
Doesn't have to think about playing any cannons.
$23.
Yeah, going back to the sort of fatigue issue. If you are kept in your chair for a long time, it gives you a chance to sort of give yourself excuses and saying, you know, say to yourself, yeah, I'm tired. That's why you need to get to the
28.
table and, you know, just get rid of those thoughts, because there's such a long way to go in this final.
Meanwhile, Kyren played a very poor positional shot there. He's let the white run at least 12 to 18 inches further than he intended. That's why he's using the rest.
$29.
And back in prime position again. Well, he holds his hand up. He's let the white go again. Maybe the cushion behind the black is just
34.
bouncing a little bit further than it was before it was recovered. Anyway, that's a couple that he's just let slip away. Once again, the rest out. Boy, is he good with the rest. Him and Sean Murphy,
35.
who's doing the demos today, they're the best in the business.
Yeah, another example there. He prefers to, even with the rest, play at pace. He could have played for black there with two cushions with the rest, but decided to say, play at more pace. But the problem with that is you're taking the cue ball up the table. But as I say, he backs himself
37.
to play these middle distance shots all the time. And he struck that yellow beautifully. But the cue ball is doing a bit of mileage on this break, there's no doubt about it, but he just keeps potting.
As I say, he didn't have to play any cannons. The reds were just
43.
sitting nicely, most of them available. Jack, I think you're right, he'll probably head to the practice room and try and get his cue arm working.
$44.
Still got quite a few to pot to secure this fourth frame, but it's looking good for Kyren.
Yes, he's probably furious with himself, Jack Jones, at the start he's made, especially after it happening against Stuart
51.
Bingham as well. It's Probably more anger at the moment than tiredness that he's feeling.
52.
Just enough angle on the blue to play over towards the pink to leave a couple of reds available. Just got to be careful he doesn't snooker himself with the pink. That's perfect.
57.
Once again, no
58.
need for the cannon there. Jack missed a similar shot to this earlier frame.
65.
He'll be hoping that maybe Kyren can do the same. But not a problem.
66.
Just making sure of the red, that was enough to leave his opponent in a spot of bother. Well, it's not over just yet.
Kyren
Would have
Wilson,
made
66.
absolutely certain of the frame. There you see it, 59 behind with 59 remaining. Is he going to get a chance to get 4 reds and 4 blacks? Not now. I don't think he's covered it either. That's the last thing he wanted to see. Not a bad ball to have to pot to win a frame.
1.
So off to the practice room, I would suggest, for Jack Jones.
Three. Four. Nine. Ten.
You know, these pots
17.
is delaying Jack getting out of this arena, because I'm sure he wants to get out of this arena as quick as possible at the moment.
18.
Whether it's just to get to the dressing room and just calm down, or if it is to the practice room, but he just wants out of there. And Kyren's delaying that, which is what he's supposed to do. When your opponent is feeling the
23.
misery, you got to keep piling it on.
Yeah, when you're playing like this, you can just go back to your dressing room and
25.
relax. His brother Taylor will be with him there. He'll be quite happy with the way he's queuing.
28.
But the interval, we've seen it so many times, can change things around.
32. 37. 43.
dominant start to this final from Kyren Wilson. Jack Jones got a lot to think about. He trails 4-0.
Yep, and that man there, Jack Jones, has been put under some severe pressure, and Kyren Wilson, Paul Collier, our referee, who is playing his final match, if you like. This is the last of his duties as one of the great referees on the circuit for many years, Paul, and he is retiring as of tomorrow evening. So far, so good from Paul's perspective, but a lot to do for that man, Jack Jones. Back we go, Stephen and Dennis.
Jack Jones to break.
Thank you, Hazel. That was a lovely interview with Stephen Hendry and Jack Jones, smashing lad. Interesting that he didn't go to the practice room. He was chatting on his phone to a friend of his.
Yeah, he looked quite animated, didn't he, on the phone? As I say, I think it was anger and frustration more than anything about the way he started this final. He probably needed to just sort of vent his anger on somebody, really, just get it out, his frustration.
An opening pot in this frame after the mid-session interval, tucked up on the cushion, and he knocks that right in the center of the pocket. What a piece of cueing that was. Mind you, he's lost the white a little bit. I don't know if he's on a red to the middle pocket. Got the wrong cannon there. This one will go up into the corner past the blue, though. Or will it? Maybe not. Yeah, just about. And we've got the perfect picture. We'll know if it's in before Kyren. We're in a right line with it. And the crowd knew it was in.
I was seeing the frame after an interval, especially with a 4-0 scoreline. It's obviously important for the guy that's on 0. You want to get a frame, but it's also important for the player that's 4-0 up, because you want to keep that momentum. And intervals can sort of interrupt that. So Kyren will be 15. As I say, want to keep his foot in the pedal here. Well, that kind of tells its story straight away, doesn't it, that pot success rate? I'm afraid 71%. Jack is not going to get it done. 70 versus 89 and safety. And, well, long pot success. Although, to be honest, I can't remember Jack going for a long pot. But 89% for his opponent is very intimidating.
22.
Where's this red?
Kyren Wilson, 22.
It will cut into the corner, so he lost the cue ball in the shot prior to this. That's why he was faced with that longish red. Now, if he can get himself onto a colour here, he could have a chance. Very few chances. Quite an attacking shot there. I'm not sure if that was the right one to get yourself settled in.
No, I don't disagree with that shot choice at all. I think he needs something to sort of inspire him. He needs something to get him going in this final. And I think if that shot had come off and he got in a colour, that would have really got him going. But obviously it came with risk. If you don't get the pot, look what you're going to leave for your opponent. But I don't disagree with the shot choice one bit. It just seems a bit bemused, Jack Jones, with what's going on. It's the first time in the whole championship that even in his chair he just doesn't look composed at all.
Well, he might be sitting in that chair for quite a while after he opened all the reds up.
Eight. $15. $16.
The way the reds are sitting, doesn't have to play any cannons. They're all available. Okay, there's a couple that's safe on cushions.
20.
But the rest are all in the open.
$21. $23. $24.
It really is amazing with the rest, the control that he has on the cue ball as well as potting. It's a
31.
wonderful place to play, and when things are going well, it's even better. But when you can't get going, it can be the loneliest place in the world. And at the moment,
32.
Jack Jones just can't get going in this final. Okay, he tried to make something happen with the opening pot that he missed by splitting all the reds up, but this was the shot
39.
here. Decided to take the risk.
$40.
In these multi-session matches, 4 sessions in this final. It's now about
47.
damage limitation for Jack Jones in this first session. The difference between coming out of this session losing it 5-3 or 6-2 could make all the difference come the end of the match. He's got to try and get the most that he can out of this session. He knows he's lost it now. But can he give himself something to cling on to for tonight?
54.
Come on, Dennis. We talked about you being 8-0 down. What was your thoughts after a heavy defeat in the first session?
Well, it was all about getting the one frame on the board just to settle yourself down. And the game of snooker, only one player can play on the table. So if you're knocking them in, the other player can't do anything about it. Doesn't matter about missing that. Jack nods to the referee. He concedes one risky little shot that didn't come off, and Kyren Wilson has punished it, and it's now 5-0.
Well, so far,
Yeah.
well, it was Stuart Bingham who said that the Crucible Theatre and the One Table Arena is an incredible place to play when you are doing well.
Yes.
But it is a horror show when you're not. And so far, this is tough going for Jack Jones.
See, even his safety shots are just going slightly wrong. He's catching the green there. Missed the pot there because he had so much side on that to make sure he didn't cannon into the black and reds. Look at that, over 32 minutes. St. Jack's last pot. Can he just see enough of that? It's tight. Couldn't, so just the containing safety. Didn't have to play safety that way, but the reason he did it, to bring the pink into play. That was the only reason he played it that way. This is a better safety shot from Jack. Kyren just tapped the table, an acknowledgement of that good safety. Can he play an equally as good a shot?
Foul and a miss. Jack Jones full.
Now what is there available for Jack to have a go at? Nothing easy. He needed a thin edge, but This is far from easy. Long way off. Just can't get that Q arm working. Just cued across that slightly, as you can see here. Missed it by a long way. But I don't think he's left anything easy. Might just be one red that'll cut in, the one that's to the left of the 5. He'll be canning into the other 2 reds. But usually when you're playing well and you play a shot like this, everything seems to work out for you. Not this time though. Long way off that pot.
Yeah, although it's great to have the crowd support, but when you come to the table 5-0 behind and the crowd are saying, "Come on, Jack," it doesn't actually help. It puts more pressure on you. He'd love an easy opener, but this is all he's got. At this point in time, Jack Jones probably can't believe how difficult the game of snooker is.
And the thing is, as he goes back to his seat, he'll be starting to feel just a little bit embarrassed, because he was looking forward to coming out here after the way he played, and there you see he's left a plant, so everything's going against him at the moment. As I say, it's a wonderful arena. It's so intimate, but sometimes it can be the loneliest place in the world when things are going like this for you.
Six. Seven.
Pink's still available, black tied up at the moment, but he won't be easing up here. Kyren, he'll keep on knocking them in.
14.
Just enough room for that red to pot after the pink here. Just got to sit there and try and
20.
keep yourself calm. A few breaths, deep breaths, and hope that you can get a chance.
$21.
Yeah, we're seeing the brutal nature of snooker here.
27.
One player is just in the ascendancy, full of confidence. And And the other in his chair. Complete
28.
sort of devastation about the way he's turned up to play in this final. He's just sitting there just thinking, what has happened here? Why have I not turned up? Why am I missing easy shots? It's all negative, the thoughts. It's starting to look like if Jack can get just a frame out of this session, it'll be something.
$33.
You just know if Kyren gets out of position slightly and he needs the rest, you know he's not going to miss with it.
39. $40.
Another thing that starts to happen when you're in Jack's position in his chair, you're frustrated and angry with yourself, but you start to become annoyed by your
46.
opponent. You start to just sort of just keep watching them, and just little things will annoy you, and it's all negative, and it's all just the sort of tricks that your mind plays on you when you're just not playing, you're not getting any time at the
47.
table.
I never liked looking at the table. I always pretended I was, but I was looking underneath
53.
it. You didn't want to see your opponent knocking break after break and ball after ball in.
54. $60. $61.
The blue and one more red would secure the frame. And it's a pretty comfortable red
66.
that he needs to clinch this frame.
$67. $74. 75.
He's had 5 centuries so far in this year's World Championship. He started this final with a break
82.
of 129. not
88.
going to be easy to make the century. He's just had a glance at the green and the red. And if he's got an angle here,
89.
he'll be trying to pot the blue and cannon the green full ball, bring it into play and leave himself on the red. Well, let's see if he can judge this tricky positional shot.
$94. $95.
So can he pop the tricky little yellow across the nap for his
98.
second century? Of course he can.
100. $103.
Well, as you said, Stephen, Jack Jones is going to have to get somehow one frame on the board out of this session.
112.
Well, it's been a very, very comfortable final so far for Kyren Wilson. Another excellent century. He's had nothing from his opponent so far. Can Jack Jones get anything from this first session? Trails 6-0.
Wow, it's been a man is powering ahead here. There has not been a 6-0 start in this final since the last qualifier to reach the final. That was Ding Junhui, was under it against Mark Selby. Now, Ding Junhui did recover to win the last two of the session. What has Jack Jones got left in this one?
Jack Jones to break.
Oh, what he would give for that, Hazel. The last two frames. I think he'd settle for one at the moment. He'll get plenty of encouragement. There's a lot of Kyren Wilson supporters here, but that Crucible crowd are fair. They don't like to see one player running away with it. They'll get behind the underdog. There might be a gap through, and what a shot this would be. Get in, get in.
One.
Wow, what a response for this fluke. The crowd have erupted here. And he's cannoned the wrong ball. Well, that smile on the face, but he won't be smiling now.
Eight.
He's right out of position. No cue action at the moment. Everything's a struggle. And that's not the best safety he's ever played.
8.
Second bite of the cherry for Jack. Can he string a few points together? This wasn't easy. It was close, but not close enough.
Right, where's the next red coming from? I think the red closest to the black is available to the right corner. And they might have the choice of two. The one to the left of the pink, there's that red. The one to the left of the pink goes to right middle. So if he can bring the cue ball down the left side of the table here, he will have options. Just missed the left middle pocket. Touch the left hand side. When he's played the aggressive shot again to try and make something happen. Again, don't totally disagree with it. But it wasn't the easiest pack to go into because the two reds to the left of the pink are separated from the bunch. So it would have been very difficult to bring reds into play off that shot. So he's just not thinking 100% clearly. He's trying to make something happen.
Jack Jones 3.
Good target now, the yellow ball. That's where you'll be playing the cue ball as if you were trying to cannon into the yellow. He's put a red over the pocket, but is he going to get cover? Close to getting in behind the yellow, but there's no gap through to this, but that's what Kyren's thinking about doing, coming off the cushion and flicking this red in, but that's far from an easy shot, and the white will be heading in towards the bunch. He's thought about that. He's now looking about the one red onto the one that's over the pocket. It's back to the shot. Just keep an eye on the cue ball, but this is not straightforward. That sums things up. When you're playing well, you take a shot like that on, you don't know what the cue ball's going to do, and look what he's done with the black. When you're struggling, you finish in no man's land.
8. Sure. 9.
There you see it, 92% with the rest. You'd have to say that's poor for Kyren Wilson. He very rarely misses anything with the rest.
15. 16.
As you could see from the last shot there, none of those reds are potable. The ones in the bunch
23.
need to cannon into those. He's got the perfect
24.
angle on the black. He doesn't want to go straight into the one directly above the black. He could stick there. He needs plenty of power, plenty of screw. And that's okay. He's got one to the right middle pocket.
31.
Jack will be sitting in his seat fearing the worst again here, looking at the table.
$32. $38.
Well, Kyren would be obviously very, very confident coming into today's final, but I don't think even he would have dreamed that this would be his start to the final.
39.
Virtually no resistance from his opponent. You have to say, for the first time in this World Championship, the occasion has got to Jack Jones.
46.
But I'm with Steve Davis. Why didn't Jack go to the practice room?
47. $54. $55.
It's a straightforward run
60.
to the winning line in this frame. He had a quick glance at the scoreboard. Black and
61.
one more red would do it. And at the moment, Jack will be in bits sitting in that seat. Can't do anything about this. He
68.
just can't get going.
69.
Well, Kyren Wilson is having the time of his life. It's almost like a practice session at the moment.
He might even
76.
move to difficult red here to give himself a chance of another century. And he's knocked it into,
77.
well, a slightly more favourable position than it was. Possibly play down for the pink here to move that red that
82.
not perfect. Now he's got an angle
83.
on the pink to try and move it again. That was
89.
a very happy balcony there. The Wilson family, well, I bet they can't believe what they're seeing
90.
here, but they know he's quite capable of doing this. Bit straight on the blue, but the green will get him to the yellow. Oh, no century break, but he won't be too concerned about that. That break of 90. Well, it's relentless at the moment. That's another one for Kyren Wilson. 7-0 now.
Even the cue that he has in his hand, it won't feel like his. You know, it's an incredible difference to the way he would have been feeling against Stuart Bingham last night.
Well, a reminder, Jack Jones has beaten the 11th seed Zhang Anda, Si Jiawen, Judd Trump, Stuart Bingham, but he has just not going in this final so far. Hasn't been allowed to. Wilson, ruthless so far.
Come on, Jack, let's see you knock a long red in. It was close, but where's the red going to finish? One he missed is safe, but there's another one that he's not even looking at because he can't get position. If he takes that red into the right corner, he's going to keep it tight here unless he decides on a double. Well, you could call that a double to nothing, because if it goes in, he's on the green. And if he had missed it, probably would have been safe.
Four. Five.
The wrong side of the blue, but the way he's queuing. He's had a quick glance.
Ten.
The black will go. He can get on the pink. He can please himself what he does with this red.
Kyren Wilson, 10.
Didn't expect him to miss that one. Some wonderful wins to get through to the final. That one against Judd Trump, well, shocked everyone. Didn't shock Jack. Now you need a bit of luck here.
6.
Well, there's a red potable. I'll show you the split again. But he's got to force it to get down for the blue.
Yeah, good shot that. Not ideal in the blue, and obviously the black is out of commission. Pink, you can see up beside the yellow, so it's not the easiest chance. The reds are in decent position, but at the moment only the blue as a high value colour. At this point, you're desperate to win this frame. I think just make sure you're clear in your mind exactly what shot you're going to play before you get down. As a way of just trying to sharpen the mind, the concentration.
13.
Well, this one wobbled a bit, but safely in. On the correct side of the blue. Reds and blues will do at the moment.
Yeah, the reason I say that, make sure you
18.
know the shot before you get down, is you can get down and just, your brain's that muddled. You just get down and play the shot without really thinking what you're doing.
19.
You can almost commentate yourself through the shot. Tell yourself what shot you're going to play, exactly what you're going to do with the cue ball before you get down to play the shot.
Just a little bit of a tester for
24.
Jack now to get back the correct side of the blue. Nicely played.
Yeah, it's probably one of his best strikes of the cue ball of the whole afternoon, believe it or not. That was beautifully timed, and that would have made him feel good. Or about as good as it's possible to feel. It's 7-0 down. But this is a chance to win his first frame of this final.
30.
And that's his highest break in the match. Up until that, it was 25.
$31.
Once again, perfectly played. Those two gentlemen would love
36.
Jack to clinch this last frame of this session with this visit.
37.
Yeah, it'll have been a nightmare of an afternoon for those two. It's worse, even worse watching them playing, but to see Jack go through this torture, really, in the crucible.
$42. $43.
Well, he struck all these shots perfectly because he keeps getting the correct side of the blue. Starting to get a little bit more difficult now. He's got a 33-point advantage. Just let the white run a little bit further than he intended there.
48.
Yeah, that was. Well, it wasn't perfectly struck, but I think because it was a thinner angle in the blue, I may have been tempted to play for the red that's nearest the black cushion. Yeah, well done.
Good recovery.
49.
As Dennis said, it's just starting to get a little trickier. And there's a lot of room to get on that red, closest to the black cushion from the green, off the side cushion with right-hand side, just before the middle pocket, but he's looking at the brown.
$53.
Can he once again knock this red in and get back the right side of the blue? This is the key shot here. Well played.
54.
Yeah, he's shown a lot of character here, Jack Jones. It's shown the sort of attitude that's got him to this final, this break. Can they play one good shot in the blue here, automatically on the red? Yeah, well done. And I say automatically on the red. He didn't want the cue ball on the cushion, did he?
59.
And he only needs this red. What a cheer he'll get if this goes in. And he raises his fist. Jack Jones raises his fist in the air. That was nice to see. He'll be feeling just that little bit better. Doesn't matter about that, but watch the fist here to the crowd that give him such a wonderful
65.
cheer there.
Jack Jones, 65.
Kyren had a quick glance at the scoreboard. Needs a few snookers. 55 the difference, 43 on the table. That's 3 snookers. It's a tall order. It's an even taller order if this red comes right over the corner pocket. Can he see enough of it? No. Just roll it along the cushion, not quite blue in the way. Does he feel he can see enough of this? Not to pot it, I don't think. Or can he? No, there wasn't enough of the red available there to take the pot on. Or will do with value in taking that pot on, because he needs to get a black. Otherwise, if he puts a red and a blue or pink, he'd need 4 snookers. But not easy to get on the black where it is. Might try it here. Yep, and he's on the black, is he? No, it'll be a handshake, I feel, very shortly. I think he's asking for the red to be cleaned. I think he's going to get down and pot the black while...
Foul. Wilson won, Jack Jones 7.
Well, smiles all around. But Jack Jones has got a lot to think about, but at least he didn't get whitewashed in this session. He got that one frame, but Kyren Wilson would be absolutely delighted. 7-1.
There is to be no session whitewash.